One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. A legend in the making, day by day.
Shit. Good morning, Vietnam. What's up with everybody, man? Get into it. We got a big one, a big ordeal to speak on today. As you guys can see from the freaking title, Russia launches worst attack on Ukraine in months, and Trump calls out Zelenskyy, and there's a lot more going on, but that's a big headline right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the craziness and before we start hanging out a little bit, make sure you guys hit that like button, man. It's the #1 metric of all YouTube. Helps out this show immensely, and it's free, by the way. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button because it's also free. Please consider becoming a member, though. For $2.99 a month, we're making sure we're not breaking the bank out here with any, we're not breaking the bank. But listen, this is exactly how we get to speak. This is the reason why we get to speak the way we do. You know what I mean? Because of you guys. It's actually because 100% your guys' funding that we don't have to cater to views. So it's awesome. It's a little side note. Follow my Instagram if you haven't already. Ball Valve TV. That's a perfect way to get a hold of me personally, as well as, get behind the scenes of not only my lifestyle, but of the show, as well as Millennial Food Time, all that great shit. You know what I mean? Naomi's actually been putting in the Discord link. So if you guys haven't been joining into the Discord, make sure you guys hit that Discord link. As well, if you guys are watching this on the replay, it's in the description of every video. So make sure you guys join up. Little side note, listen, last note. How about that? Of course, every super sticker, super chat, gifted membership signups are, of course, going to be shouted out and presented live onto the show. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube brutal 30% cut, we have these platforms scrolling for the remainder of the show. And of course, I'll read them out and shout you out, of course. And
maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking
shit. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, good to see everyone. We got freaking Ben up in here. Good to see Ben up in here as well. We got brother Steve as well as Naomi. We got freaking brother Red up in here as well. Papa Penguin, my man. We got Gary. Appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with us, by the way. Let's see who else we got in here. We got freaking KP, my man. Good to see you as well. We got Imperious. Good to see you, by the way. Good morning to everybody. This is the last show that I'll be doing for the week, as you guys know, not only this week, but next week. So I'll be in California tomorrow morning. Well, not tomorrow morning. I leave tomorrow morning. I'll be in California in the morning or in the afternoon. But we got Danny as well over there in Cali, by the way. Good to see you. Asa, dude. Good morning. We got brother Frank. We got Hardwire 1%er up in here as well. Good morning to you guys. And we got brother S&S as well. So Good to see everyone. We're about to get into the madness as always, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Very much appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'm visiting my daughter, Danny. So I'm not visiting no one though. I mean, this has nothing to do with like you or anybody else. It's just I haven't seen my daughter since I moved here, so I'm going to spend every fucking moment I can with her. We got Brother Carney up in here. Good morning, kind sir. Hopefully you're doing fantastic as well. We got AB. Shit. What up, though? What up, my man? Good morning to you, kind sir. We got a big story that's happening right now, so we're about to get into it right here, right now. And yes, going back. Well, no, it's how does it go? Is it saying back to Cali? Whatever. Yeah, fuck that song. Where did you move to? I moved to northern Alabama. So I moved here 10 months ago. And yeah, I haven't been back yet. So this will be the first time. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this.
Russia-Ukraine war. Take a look at some of this video at this hour. This does involve the Russia-Ukraine war. Take a look at some of this video this
Here
morning.
we go. Zelenskyy cuts South Africa trip short after attack. So he was actually speaking right before this. No, I'm sorry, after this. But he's cutting his whole trip, short, obviously, because he just had this major attack.
As Volodymyr Zelenskyy did arrive over in South Africa. Now, we have learned that Ukraine's president is cutting short that official trip and returning home after a major Russian strike on the capital of Kyiv with missiles and drones killing at least 9 people and injuring more than 70. Sadly, officials do say.
So 9 people were killed and 70 were injured. That's terrible.
That number could rise. Again, this is some of the video of that arrival, but we also have video of the aftermath there in Kyiv. Now, the Russian attack came as weeks of peace negotiations appeared to be coming to a head without an agreement in sight in hours after U.S. President Donald Trump last.
We got Brother Rob, by the way. Shadow, my man. Good to see you. Apologies. I did see you in the very beginning, but I just couldn't scroll quick enough to see all who was in here. But good morning.
Zelenskyy accusing him of prolonging, quote, the killing field by refusing to surrender the Russian-occupied Crimea Peninsula as part of any possible deal. Zelenskyy has repeated many times.
Zelenskyy, why are you gay? You are gay.
Times during the more than 3-year war that
Johnny Reno, my man,
territory as Russian is a red line for his country. He noted Thursday that Ukraine had agreed to a U.S. ceasefire proposal 44 days ago as a first step to a negotiated peace, but that Russia's attacks, as you see there, had continued. While talks have been going on in recent weeks.
Oh, shit. Hold on real quick. Papa Penguin says some 19-year-old idiot was charged with arson for the New Jersey fires, didn't extinguish the trash fire before he left the area. Now 15,000 acres are scorched. Only you can prevent forest fires. Yeah, no kidding.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Damn, that's fucking crazy. Thank you for the information, by the way, Papa Penguin, on the updates there. We got Aaron Olinger up in here, by the way. Good morning to you, kind sir. We got the freaking Diamond Effect crew in here right now. So shout out to the Diamond Effect. Shit. We had a fantastic episode last night. If you guys haven't checked that out, go ahead and check that out. It's about like all of the things that we, basically fast-paced news within 60 minutes. That's what the basic label was. It was awesome. Great time. Great topics.
Has hit another city, killing more than 30 civilians gathered to celebrate Palm Sunday. There's also been drone attacks, blasts with powerful glide bombs, a lot coming in. I do want to take you out to this post coming in a short time ago. This is actually from the Foreign Affairs Minister over in Ukraine. He did post a photo.
Real quick before he says what the so-and-so over there in Ukraine says. We got Joseph up there in freaking Canada saying, good morning, Mr. Ball, Lucy, Breakfast Crew, BNC, and can't forget the haters. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
That's right. Damn it. Shit. Make sure you guys hit that like button, though.
Right there. And he says Russia launched a massive missile and drone attack on Ukraine, targeting civilians in Kyiv and other areas. Yesterday's Russian maximalist demands for Ukraine to withdraw from its regions, combined with these burial sites, show that Russia...
Yep. Pyro's like, Me and Red over here totally get it. I mean, look at my face. I blew myself up. We got Gunpowder Nitro, by the way. Good morning to you, kind sir.
Not Ukraine is the obstacle to peace. Moscow, not Kyiv, is where pressure should be applied. Ukraine's capital experienced a particularly horrible and loud night. As of now, 9 civilian people have been reported.
9 civilians at that, and then 70 people have been injured at least, they're saying. We got Robert Domino, by the way. Good morning to you, kind sir. Good morning, good morning.
Killed in Kyiv and over 70 injured. That includes 6 children. Other cities and communities across Ukraine were targeted with Russian missiles and drones in the middle of the night, killing and injuring civilians. Putin demonstrates through his actions, not words, that he does not respect any peace efforts and only wants to continue the war. Weakness and concessions will not stop his terror and aggression.
I was hoping this shit. This doesn't necessarily say that they can't end the war still. Of course it can, obviously. But fucking war is hell.
And pressure will. Again, that is a post right there from Ukraine coming in from the Minister of Foreign Affairs for the country. Again, a lot to this here as we continue to follow it.
Senior US shit, no worries, Johnny. No shit, no worries at all. This is actually my last episode, by the way, until I come back the first. So yeah, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be in California. But by the way, real quick, we got 13 up in here. Good morning to you, kind sir. And yes, this shit is absolutely wild and totally stinks. Fucking terrible. All right, back to this.
That the Trump administration could soon give up its effort to stop the war if the two sides do not compromise. Ukraine's prime minister noting that since Russia's February 2022 full-scale invasion of its neighbor, Russian attacks have killed some.
Real quick, hold on. Wow. I hope I'm not too late on this. I am a little late on this. I'm 4 minutes late. Lissa Lay, by the way, came in and I'm pulling it up right now. She sent $20 and said for ice cream for the kid. Wow, Lissa Lay, thank you so much for that. Yo, holy shit, man. Thank you so much for the kind patronage and help with that. I very much appreciate that. Doing a trip like this is not cheap, but hey, that will definitely go to good use. I'll make sure she gets some ice cream with that. I very much appreciate that. We got Frederick Frame, by the way. Very much appreciate you for hanging out with us in this beautiful Thursday morning, by the way. Yes. All right. Back into
civilians. That includes more than 600 children. Again, we do have some of the video from earlier on this morning as Volodymyr Zelenskyy did arrive over in South Africa. Now, there was a news conference that was scheduled to take place later on this morning. It is not clear if that news conference will still happen. Zelenskyy was expected to...
Really, Papa Penguin? I completely consider you an analyst. But he says my crystal ball is still saying that the Russia-Ukraine war will stop between June and December. Yep, I know why you're saying that. Not that because you have any money involved in that, or money. Fuck the money. It's the bet. It's the bet. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I feel you, man. But we'll see. We got Brother Slim up in here, by the way. Good morning to you, kind sir. We got Tiffany Lance, by the way, saying, morning, everyone. Lee and I are doing a floor and a camper for a man. Won't be in the chat much, but wanted to say hi. Hope everyone has a good Thursday. Yes, good to see you, by the way. Are we not men? Good morning to you, kind sir. Hopefully you're doing well as well, man. $20 is $20. That's true, by the way. That is absolutely true.
Oh, shit.
I totally agree.
Speak along South African leadership. But again, he is cutting his trip short, so that does remain unclear if that press conference is still going to happen. Now, if it does, we will bring it to you in full, as we always do, if there is an English translation, right here on Live Now from Fox. The time now is 6:15 on the East Coast and 3:15 on the West Coast. We are going to head to a quick 2-minute commercial.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'll definitely get, I don't know if you follow him yet, Papa Penguin, but I'll send you his profile so you can follow him.
Break, but a lot more live
just DM
news
me
to get to here in just a few. You're watching Live Now from Fox. We'll be right back.
Hell no. No freaking commercials around these parts. All right, so we're going to go ahead and skip ahead because there's a little bit of just bullshit in between here. Okay, we're going to keep moving ahead. There's a lot of BS in between here, but we're getting into the rest of the craziness. Move forward, move forward. Zelenskyy cuts South Africa trip shortly after the attack. So I'm going to go ahead and back this up. There's some other footage that we haven't seen in this yet. So let's go ahead and check it out. Right around here. Let's see. Come on.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. The time 7:58 on the East Coast and 4:58 on the West Coast. As we told you, is breaking news.
Yeah, it did happen in Kyiv. It did happen at the capital city.
Here, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has cut his trip to South Africa short after Russia attacked the capital of Kyiv overnight, killing at least 9 people and injuring dozens of others. This comes as Presidents Trump and Zelenskyy continue their back and forth, with Trump saying Wednesday that Zelenskyy is prolonging the quote-unquote killing field.
Shit, you did, Brother Steve? Man, you should. I hope that you took some pictures, man. Put it in the Discord.
After pushing back on handing over Crimea to Russia as part of any potential peace plan. A day earlier, Zelenskyy ruled out giving up the territory.
Yo, XTOS, my man, good morning to you, by the way.
During any talks. Want to send it over to Doug Luzader with Fox as he
Shit, real quick, brother. Straight Jacket too, man. Fucking legends up in here.
Follows all of the latest developments.
Deal between Russia and Ukraine may be even less
AOC.
likely now after this devastating
For specifically this question, Ben. Yeah, AOC.
attack overnight from Russian missiles and drones. The rescue crews worked to beat back the flames after a wave of Russian attacks. Kyiv was struck as responders worked through the night to recover and rescue the victims. What kind of peace talks can there be? Asked this woman, blaming Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelenskyy.
In the Oval Office yesterday, President Trump offered tempered optimism that a deal.
Man, that's been my whole life struggle right there is Latinas, right there. All my exes are Latinas.
Could be reached.
I just want to see the war end. I don't care. If they're both happy, they both sign an agreement. I have no favorites.
But Trump is clearly blaming Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, who is unwilling to permanently cede the Crimean Peninsula to Russia.
There's nothing to talk about. It's our territory.
Man, this motherfucker, Are We Not Men, sends me $1. Let's see what he says. He says, $1 for Mike's breast reduction surgery. Hey, I appreciate the $1, by the way. Very much appreciate that, kind sir.
A frustration is growing, with Russia refusing to accept even a temporary break in the fighting that was proposed a month and a half ago.
Putin has refused for weeks to go to that 30-day ceasefire. That's why everyone...
Serious, Carney? Shit, these motherfuckers. Man, we're doing a call to action. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Come on, man. It's one extra step. I know it's one extra step. But listen, it helps out the show. You guys don't have to like what's going on in the world, but you guys can like it for me and my takes. You know what I mean? And do it for us, because the more that we hit that like, the more opportunity we have for it to be in that stratosphere. You know what I mean? You guys have the ability.
is frustrated.
And for now, the attacks continue.
Did you see that shit?
That's why everyone is frustrated.
Look at this on the screen.
And for now, the attacks continue.
God.
The death toll rises, and hopes of a peace deal may have dimmed even further overnight. President Trump is meeting today at the White House with the Prime Minister of Norway, and the peace effort in Ukraine may figure prominently in their talks. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Yeah, you definitely don't go after the you got to look when you meet them, you know, do they have a little extra chin, you know, do they look at their arms, you know what I mean? You got to look at the whole package. You got to go for the skinny ones. That's the trick.
Doug, thank you so much. As we mentioned, Zelenskyy cutting his
Look, we got the torta pounder here, you know what I mean? Shit.
Oh, shit!
To South Africa short after that attack on Kyiv. And there's a lot to discuss here. I do want to bring in Robert Moret, professor of practice in the Public Administration and International Affairs Department at Syracuse University. He's also the deputy director of the Institute for Security Policy and Law and a retired vice admiral in the U.S. Navy. Thank you so much.
Oh, real
for
quick,
taking
hold
the
on.
time.
Shit, real quick. We got freaking Hardwire coming in with the $10, by the way, on the Cash App. And he says, buy the daughter a Happy Meal from Uncle Hardwire. Yes, I absolutely will, dude. Thank you for that. Man, I very much appreciate that. Sincerely, man. I definitely will. Appreciate you.
To be here with us today.
Morning, Josh. Good to be back with you.
Good morning. And first off, I do want to talk overall about that attack on Kyiv. Of course, as we mentioned, Zelenskyy is cutting that trip short because of the attack by Russia. And it did kill at least 9 people, injure dozens of others. I do have to ask, how significant is it for Russia to attack Kyiv?
I would say, this is all part of the calibrated attacks that are happening on both sides, but especially by Russia in terms of they have different options they have in terms of the strike operations. This is the most aggressive one against the capital, Kyiv, that has happened this year. So it's noteworthy. It just has to do with the ongoing pressure that they're feeling from the Kremlin.
Any, I guess, question about whether or not Zelenskyy would have cut his trip short there. He was in South Africa. He and leaders there held a news conference a bit earlier on this morning, but it appears he is going to head back now after this attack. Is that what you would have expected?
I think so, but it may be about more than just the attacks that happened the last 24 hours in Kyiv. There's just so much diplomatic activity happening right now, and it's probably as active as any time. The talks that took place in London yesterday.
Man, well, it's gonna happen, Carney. 1000%. We're definitely linking up, no matter what. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of time when it happens.
Today, the announcements, the comments by our own president, vice president yesterday. So there's just a lot of things happening right now. I think you'd feel more comfortable with you back in Kyiv.
And I do have to ask about those comments made by the president and vice president. What do you make of all of that as it is unfolding?
Yeah, I think it's part of the ongoing shift. And just to kind of step back a little bit, Josh, this year was always going to be the year of the ceasefire negotiations. And I think a lot of people don't realize that regardless of how our own election.
You know what? I really respect what CL, which is low-key Ben. But hey, I respect what he just said there.
Came out last November and so many other factors. There was a general sense by, I think, all parties, Russia, Ukraine, our allies around the world, and also in Washington, that this is going to be a year where, because of the relatively static battlefield, that some kind of a deal needed to be cut. So I think this is a subset of that. I think both the president and vice president are very anxious to have some kind of a deal. We can have a longer discussion about who's getting more pressure, whether it's the Kremlin or the leadership in Kyiv, but it's certainly something that's very much up in the air right now.
And what's up, Poke Dog? Good morning to you, kind sir, as well. Good to see you and happy Thursday.
Speaking about up in the air, I mean, is this really just creating a further strain between not just Trump and Zelenskyy, but also the U.S. and Ukraine as the war is now more than 3 years in?
I don't think there's any question that just the personal.
How can you eat your meat if you're not eating your pudding? It's impossible.
Chemistry between the vice president and the president and Zelenskyy is probably not as good as it was with a lot of other foreign leaders, or for that matter, our own previous administration. And those things, matter in international diplomacy and politics. And you could have to say, the Wall Street Journal had a good piece yesterday talking about the tilt to Moscow. They seem to some of the remarks out of Washington, but I still don't know that our entire government is of one mind on that. We'll see how that plays out in the days and weeks ahead.
Yo, brother Bob, as well, up there in Canada, Biker News Canada, my man. Good morning to you as well.
I've asked you this question before, but how pivotal is the
US?
US
Man, I very much appreciate what you just said there as well. Yeah, man, it's going to be a blast. I can't wait. It's super, super excited.
Ukraine winning this war, so to speak. How much is the U.S. really necessary here?
Certainly, I would say the United States is the most important actor in favor of Ukraine, going back for the last 3+ years since the full invasion by Russia. Having said that, you don't want to discount all the other partners, because if the United States, continues to kind of draw back diplomatically or in terms of military assistance or intelligence support, Some other countries are going to try to fill the vacuum. They're not going to be able to provide the kind of high-end weapons, for example, that the United States has been providing. But certainly in terms of other kinds of support, they will be a factor.
Be safe out there, brother KP, as well, man. We'll see you here when I return from Cali.
And just one final comment I'd make along those lines is that there are a lot of chefs in the kitchen on this deal. For example, is Secretary Rubio, the point that he makes, we have to deal with Europe because they all have sanctions against Russia, and that's going to be part of the deal. So we do have to, bring them into the fold for whatever kind of deal eventually takes place.
As all of this has been unfolding, I would say over the past several days, this back and forth between President Trump and President Zelenskyy, have we heard from President Putin at all or anyone in Russia sharing their thoughts? Because, I mean, I hate to say it, but they have to be pretty happy considering there is this kind of feud that is happening between Trump and Zelenskyy.
They are. I haven't seen any direct comments from Putin. However, his spokesman, Peskov, who
That's very, very true, XTOS.
had some pretty pointed remarks yesterday, said he welcomed the remarks that he heard from the president. And I think he might have also made comments with respect to the vice president. So the Kremlin spokesman has been very available and very vocal about supporting some things that he's heard from the White House. And that's kind of been a theme we've had for a while now.
Anything else you do want to add here about any of this before I let you go? There are so many different aspects and kind of intricacies to all of this, but is there anything else you want to make sure we mention?
Yeah, Josh, just a final comment. I would just say that, this was never going to be
Make sure you guys hit that like button, by the way.
easy. President Putin, for whatever reasons, has this thing about Ukraine. He still has maximalist goals. And I think a lot of people think that the fact that we haven't gotten a deal already is just because of any positions by Ukraine or by our current administration doesn't really fully take into account the maximalist gains that President Putin has, and the fact that, for example, regardless of how our elections came out last November, this is still going to be a tough negotiation and a tough deal to realize.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, Robert Moret,
especially when you
always,
attack their
thank
main
you so much for taking the time to join us and help discuss all of this further. We appreciate it.
Good day, Jeff.
Man,
all right, and I do
brutal.
want to pop this up on your screen as we did here
brutal.
this morning from the Minister of Foreign Affairs for Ukraine. He posted that photo and did say Russia launched a massive missile and drone attack on Ukraine, targeting civilians in Kyiv and other areas. Yesterday, Russian maximalist demands for Ukraine to withdraw from its regions, combined with these brutal strikes, show that Russia, not Ukraine, is the obstacle to peace. Moscow, not Kyiv, is where pressure should be applied. Ukraine's capital experienced a particularly horrible and loud night. As of now, 9 civilian people have been reported killed in Kyiv and over 70 injured, including 6 children. Other cities and communities across Ukraine were targeted with Russian missiles and drones in the middle of the night, killing and injuring many civilians. Putin demonstrates through his actions, not words, that he does not respect any peace efforts and only
that is true. Are we not men? That is true.
Wants to continue the war. Weakness and concessions will not stop his terror and aggression. Only strength and pressure will. Again, we are going to follow all of the latest developments, not just on the attack on Kyiv, but also everything developing as that war between Russia and Ukraine does continue. And I do want to take you out to a live image that is just popping up on our screen here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Hook Dog.
That Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, should be speaking at an event shortly. Now, that was scheduled for 8 a.m. Eastern time. As you can see, we do have an image of what appears to be the start of that meeting here that is going to get underway, the event. And we're going to bring you those comments as we get them.
What meeting?
As of right now, though, we are still waiting on that to get underway.
What meeting is this?
Also do want to take you international as we head to this shot showing St. Peter's.
Okay, that's cool. We're going to go ahead and skip ahead a little bit here.
It actually appears that it is going to be the arrival of Vice President J.D. Vance, possibly going to speak to someone there. It's unclear which event this is for sure.
Where is this at?
And when it's going to start. We know the initial start time was 8 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to make sure to bring that to you. If it is Vance or Hegseth, whoever's speaking there, we'll have full coverage for you here on
They just keep saying there, over there, there. Fucking say where. Damn it.
From Fox. I do want to take you right now out to a live event.
Nah, fuck these guys. International Monetary Fund discusses economic growth. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just go ahead and sit there and whine. We're gonna go ahead and skip ahead here. We're skipping ahead. Let's see what David Menser over there has to say in his briefing regarding this is, he's a spokesperson for the Israeli government. So let's go and see what's happening over there.
And I haven't got any further information about your question about California.
I'll back it up a little bit.
Point.
And it's not clear if he's going to make any comments to members of the media there, but if he does, we will bring that to you here on Live Now from Fox as it does happen. That is now officially underway. Let's pop up the audio here and listen in.
Here we go.
Largely under control, particularly around Jerusalem. But for further information,
it's 50,000. Are we not, men?
During this, what is a very dry period and very control, particularly around Jerusalem. But for further information, during this, what is a very dry period and
the sound that's popping, by the way, is not me. It is them on their side. It's like, come on, man. Well, you guys have all this fucking money and you guys can't figure out how to fucking get your audio correct. It happens all the time.
And very high temperatures, please contact the fire service or the police. And I haven't got any further information about your question about California. No doubt the fire service could perhaps assist with that particular point.
I don't even know what David's even going off on.
Sharon from the Baltimore Jewish Life. Did Israel release 12 prisoners this morning as seen in a social media?
I see. So we came in late on the second half of his briefing. The way he does it is he usually comes out, does a monologue explaining what's happening, and then he takes questions from the main media, the big mainstream media. So anyway,
visit without any reciprocation from Hamas. Thanks for that question, Sharon. I haven't got any further information on that, and nor have I seen those reports, so I haven't got anything further to add to that, Sharon. As soon as there is something official to speak on that, we'll certainly let you know. Okay, that's the last question we've got here today. Thank you for joining us.
We didn't get to hear anything from that. That was lame. So they brought us in, which Fox, that was them. They brought us in late, and we missed basically the whole fucking monologue.
On Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth meeting alongside the NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. That meeting is taking place right now. We know that photographers are in the room. However, the actual feed of that will not be sent back until it's over. We are going to bring that to you, and you can watch it in full, as always, here on Live Now from Fox.
Shit, what's up? We got Ghost Eagle over there from the freaking West Coast, man. Good morning to you, kind sir.
Let's head to a quick 2-minute
Dragon Classy, good morning to you as well.
45 on the East Coast and 5:45 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and you're watching Live Now from Fox.
Nope. We're just going to pause that. Okay, so I see what they did. They're replaying this. I want to get just the beginning monologue. That's what I want.
Day 566 of the October 7th war. 18 and a half months since this country was attacked and our people.
I'm glad they're playing it.
Provide a very quick update.
Sorry,
and then
Steve.
We'll get straight to your...
Sorry, Steve. You just got a little. I know you're gonna have a little emotional damage from it. I know.
Emotional damage.
But you're a big boy. You can handle it.
Questions. Please put your questions in the chat, and we'll take them. Please remember to put your name and your news outlet. This morning, at 10 a.m. on this warm spring day in Jerusalem, a few hours ago, sirens sounded across this small nation. Not the sirens that we've become used to, the siren that undulates, the sound that goes up and down, that siren that immediately injects adrenaline into your heart and sets your pulse racing, that warns of incoming ballistic missiles from the Houthis, from Iran, or rockets from Hamas or Hezbollah. The siren that immediately makes you wonder, where are your kids? Where are your
parents? We got freaking Brother Dean up in here. Shit. We gotta say hi to our homies, you know what I mean? Brother Dean, good to see you, man.
and if they've been able to find safety of a bomb shelter or a secure place. No, this was a different siren. This was a steady siren that maintains its high pitch for 2 minutes. At 10 a.m. this morning, the nation stopped. If you were in your car, then you stepped out and you stood with your head bowed. Traffic lights changed from red to green, but no cars moved. Israelis of European heritage, of North African heritage, of Arab heritage, no matter. They stopped and they stood and they looked down and they remembered.
Okay, go on, David.
6 million Jews.
Oh my God. Why do you need to go into this? Come on. We know. We know. I know. We know. Oh, why you got to do this every day? I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't give this kind of reaction if it weren't every fucking press release. Just every single time. They just can't. They cannot not say it. Anyways, real quick, we got Are We Not Men sending in $1 for the breast reduction surgery fund. Very much appreciate that, kind sir. Hey, I see you. All right, let's go ahead and get back into this.
Murdered by Nazi Germany, and all too willingly by their collaborators too. Many here in Israel do not need reminding. I happen to be with my dad this morning. He does not need to be reminded to remember. Indeed, his very first memory is actually of a cold, snowy winter's night.
You know what? What we can do? Yes. You gave me an idea, Ben. We're going to speed this motherfucker up.
In Hungary, with the night sky lit up by the flames.
Hey, that was a rare W for Ben for making me think to speed this up. So you can thank Ben for giving me that instinct.
The flames of his family neighborhood synagogue burning and crackling into the night sky. He doesn't need to be reminded to remember. He remembers the Shoah all too well today and every day. His own father was left to die, that's my grandfather, because no doctor or hospital would treat him, because he was a Jew. He does not need to be reminded to remember. My own son, too, actually. He's only 16 years old, but he's just come back from a school visit to Poland, where he saw with his own eyes the horror of the camps and the ghettos and the burnt synagogues and the pits where children and families were killed and villages and towns cleansed of their Jews. He too does not need to be reminded to remember. But today, nevertheless, this nation stood and remembered. The Prime Minister last night drew a single, clear and sharp line that runs between...
No, not common, rare.
...the systematic murder of 6 million Jews by the German Nazis of 80 years ago, and the vicious terrorist attack by Hamas, that dreadful...
Yo, Mount High, good morning, by the way. Kind sir, always appreciate you. He says, like button and left-handed tobacco all around. Yes, sir, absolutely, kind sir.
Only 566 days ago. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were defenseless. We had no rights. We had no one to defend us. We had nowhere to run to. Very few places to run to. Very few places that would take us. Today, we have our own state and defense forces, and today we have the ability and the right to stand up for ourselves against our enemies and against those who seek us harm.
Yo, we got Moto Gato up in here, man. Good morning to you as well.
As we are doing today. But today, as I said, we remembered. Israel remembered not only to honor the past, but to ensure that never again is not just a promise, an abstract thought, but it is a policy. It is a government policy, and it's backed by strength, and it's upheld with resolve, and it's heard by every enemy of the Jewish people, wherever they may be. Next, on our hostages, this past weekend.
Thank you. Now we're actually talking about something. Thank you. The hostages. That's what I tuned in for. Thank you. Give us an update on that. We're finally there. By the way, we got King Blackout saying, Mike, always love it, or honor and pleasure. I don't know why I always say love and that's my thing. Honor and pleasure to see you, legends, my good sir. Hope all is well. Everything is going well. This is our final day until I leave tomorrow morning for California, and I'll be there for a little, well, I guess a week, but I'll be back on the 1st. But hey, man, appreciate you hanging out with us. We got Papa Penguin saying, speaking of Israel, where's our member from Israel? Anyone seen him? Yes, I have seen him. Me and him talk all the time, by the way. Dean is a fantastic homie of ours, and he speaks the truth, man. It's awesome that he hangs out with us. Sounds like so much more forceful sped up. Yeah, no kidding. That's funny. Say it with your chest, motherfucker. Fucking Ben, you fucking hilarious. Probably got recruited by the IDF. Shit.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
All right, back to this.
Must once again slam the door on a deal that could have brought half of our remaining living hostages home and returned the bodies of many more. Let me be crystal clear about this. Israel believes that
Let me go ahead and slow it a little down. Just a little bit. It's still going to be sped up, but just a little bit down.
24 of our hostages are still alive in Gaza. 35 more were murdered by Hamas and yet are still...
Much love, Hook Dog. We'll see you on the flip side, man. And yeah, we'll definitely... I'll give you a call.
...being held hostage. So far, we've brought 196 hostages home, 147 of them alive, but our mission is far from over. We will not end this war of justice and redemption until Hamas is eliminated, our hostages are returned, and Gaza can never again threaten the people of Israel. That is our duty, and that is our promise. Hamas could have freed our hostages this past weekend, but they chose terror over humanity. We will not rest until every hostage is home, until Hamas is crushed, and Gaza is no longer a launch
until Hamas is crushed, he said,
pad of evil. And today, the IDF eliminated more terrorists operating out of a Hamas Islamic Jihad command center in Jabalia, used to launch attacks on our civilians and soldiers. This was a precision strike.
Oh, man.
Following extensive intelligence and real-time surveillance with clear measures taken to avoid civilian harm. Again, Hamas and Islamic Jihad embed themselves amongst civilians, turning homes and schools and hospitals into human shields. That's not just immoral, it's also a war crime, a real war crime. Israel will continue to strike terror at its source, surgically where possible, but relentlessly and within international law to defend our people and secure our future and free Gaza from Hamas. Lastly, to the Houthis before we take your questions.
Yo, we got Grumple up in here, by the way. Kind sir, good to see you. Absolutely. Shit, good morning.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
On Tuesday night, just a couple of nights ago, the Iranian-backed Houthi terror regime fired yet another ballistic missile towards Haifa, aimed straight at Israeli civilians. Make no mistake, my friends.
Nope, we don't know shit, and there's no proof that we have been able to see. Now, they do claim that there has been proof, but probably not. They're probably all fucking dead, unfortunately. Probably the remainder of them, and that's sad truth. And I hope that I'm wrong or whatever the case is, but it's just terrible situation.
Purpose was mass murder. It was intercepted before crossing into our territory. The Houthis are a proxy of Iran. Their goal is the destruction of Israel.
We got Jeffrey. Good morning.
Not from Gaza, not from Lebanon, and not from Yemen. And our response to terrorism is not hesitation, it is force. And if the Houthis keep testing us, together with our allies, they'll keep discovering the cost. That's the end of our briefing here today. Please put your questions in the chat, and we will take them. First question I can see here is from Fredago.
Brother Fredo as well, man. Good morning. Shit.
From Interplanetary
Let me
TV.
see if there's anything
and
more.
Your question, Fred, is
there
Israel
is.
has not yet responded to.
Hold on. We're going to skip now because we don't need to hear the questions. President Trump to Putin, Vladimir, stop. That's literally the headline here. So we're going to go ahead and do that.
All right, and that was comments that was made by the Israeli government spokesperson, David Mencer, a short time ago. We did play those for you here on Live Now from Fox. I do want to take you out to some breaking news that we are following at this time here. Let's pop up this live look at a Truth Social post coming in from President Donald Trump. He is now criticizing Vladimir Putin and Russia. He said, quote, "I am not happy with the Russian strikes on Kyiv, not necessary, and very bad timing. Vladimir, stop. 5,000 soldiers a week are dying. Let's get the peace deal done." All of this coming after those strikes overnight that led to President Zelenskyy of Ukraine actually ending his trip early to South Africa Let me pop up some of the video of the arrival here of Zelenskyy. This is as he stepped off the plane, met with some of the leaders in South Africa. And essentially, he said, look, this attack happened in Kyiv. I need to head back home right now. However, there was a news conference that was held with Zelenskyy a bit earlier on today. It was not in English, so unfortunately, we were not able to bring that to you. However, the attack we're talking about, this is some of the video coming in of the aftermath there.
Right
you
there.
can see over in Kyiv as it was attacked by Russia.
This is the first image we're seeing of like big from what the actual attack was. This is the first images we're getting right here.
Aftermath there, you can see over in Kyiv as it was attacked by Russia. We know that at least 9 people have been confirmed dead, dozens of others injured. We don't have an exact really idea yet of the extent of the injuries, but again, a lot of this developing here at this hour, so a lot of unknowns, a lot left to figure out. But President Donald Trump posting on Truth.
Yeah, they said 9 dead and 70 plus are injured.
Social, I am not happy with the Russian strikes on Kyiv. Not necessary and very bad timing.
We did see those images.
Stop. 5,000 soldiers a week are dying. Let's get the peace deal done. We'll keep you updated here as we do get more information. As Zelenskyy does head back to Ukraine, he could make a statement that might be in English. So we'll bring that.
We're about to hear something, and it might be in English, apparently. So it's going to be good. We got Brother Steve saying, I got to go cut up some steaks and get after it. Y'all be safe and enjoy your weekend. You too, brother, and we'll see you on the flip side, man. I always appreciate you hanging out with us, by the way. We'll see you here in a little bit.
That's you if he does. In the meantime, I do want to take you out to an event that we brought you a portion of earlier on this morning. This was the International Monetary Fund as they were.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't need to hear that. So they're going to go ahead and play that for a second. Let's go ahead and see if we get this. Nope, that's not what we want here. Continue on. What is going on here? Okay, is this the trial stuff? Oh, here is all right, so we have Florida governor officials speak on children and families. I wonder what he's.
We have so many of these government programs that have been around.
It might be something regarding like the whole ordeal with Snapchat.
Of them since like the 1960s with the war on poverty, and the job, you go into a government office and the bureaucrat is kind of programmed to just say, okay, what programs can I get you on?
Okay, we're gonna skip.
And the problem with that is that can
We're skipping. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't need to hear what he's got. I don't, listen. DeSantis, Oops. All right, let me go ahead and do this because way too close together.
And welcome back to
more breaking news, and I believe they're going to be talking about, yes, the man that was charged with arson in connection to New Jersey wildfire. And you guys heard earlier that Papa Penguin was on top of it. He saw this first, and I was like, damn. All right, let's hear about it.
We do have some breaking news. We continue to cover this wildfire out of New Jersey. And right now we are learning that a man has been charged.
Yo, Ben, what's funny is I've never even had a Snapchat account ever. I've never even signed up. I just, you know what I mean? I've never needed that.
With arson in
I
connection.
use real platforms like Instagram and Facebook, and you know what I mean. And fuck TikTok, by the way, it's a piece of shit.
And you're taking
as well
a look right now at some of that footage we've been sharing with you over the past couple of days. But here's what we know as of right now: a man set wooden pallets on fire and failed to properly put them out in New Jersey's Pine Barrens, sparking a quick-moving wildfire with smoke affecting the air quality in the New York City area.
Yeah, but see, the problem is I've never needed that. Because I've never fucking struggled. You know what I mean? So I didn't ever need that. It was already there.
This is according to officials who just released this information today. Prosecutors saying that Joseph King, he's an Ocean Township resident, has been charged with aggravated arson.
Hey, you be safe out there, Brother Red, as well, man. We'll catch you on the flip side as well, man.
Ocean County prosecutor Bradley Billheimer and Department of Environmental Protection Commissioner Sean LaTourette said the man faces aggravated arson and arson charges in the southern New Jersey wildfire, which authorities say as of this morning has grown to more than 23 square miles.
23 square miles. Holy fuck. That is a lot of land being scorched.
Prosecutor's office said the 19-year-old has no attorney listed yet. The fire in the southern part of New Jersey could continue to burn for days before rain later this week. No one has been injured so far in the
neighbor
fire.
guy, my man. Absolutely. Good to see you. And he says another fire. Yeah, we reported on the start of the New Jersey wildfire, I believe yesterday or the day before. I can't remember if it was yesterday, but yeah, it's totally brutal. I think it was yesterday.
And 5,000 residents were evacuated, but have been allowed to return home.
Wait, how many were evacuated?
5,000.
Oh, the last number I heard was 3,000 with 1,300 structures that were in like the actual range where it could be, their houses could be actually compromised. Yeah, this is totally brutal. It's just a lot of people, and it's gotten so fucking big. And so now they're going to go ahead and I guess they're charging the man with arson.
Residents were evacuated, but have been allowed to return home. A single commercial building and some vehicles were destroyed in the fire,
Charles,
while 12 structures
good
are
morning.
being threatened as of yesterday morning. Now, in New York, dry conditions across the state are resulting in a high fire danger rating in several regions, including New York City, Long Island, the Hudson Valley, Capital Region, and portions of the North Country. The state air quality advisory listing those off there for us. The rest of the state is at a moderate or low level of fire danger. Officials saying the fire is believed to be the second worst in the last 2 decades, smaller only than a 2007 fire that burned 26 square miles. As the story does continue to develop, we did want to bring the latest for you here, as we are learning again this morning. A man has been charged with arson after authorities say he sparked this New Jersey Pine Barrens fire. We'll continue to listen to this.
I thought it was like something that was like related to like a trash fire or something like that.
And bring you more information as we do learn it. We are still waiting to see when we're going to hear an update media press conference here, but once we do know, we will bring that to you. In the meantime, I did want to head back out to an event out of Florida, as we are listening in live right now to a Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' wife, Casey DeSantis. She is speaking on children and families right now. Let's head back over there and
hiring stuff. I really want to thank everybody that has been involved and continues to be involved. We're going to continue the momentum.
To be very clear on that, we must secure the border.
Committee vote to ban helicopters over Manhattan and create a federal noise standard. We do see that some folks are milling about. We don't see an actual rally itself under.
More breaking news. Skipping ahead. Breaking news.
Out of Washington, D.C. Out
of D.C.
President Trump now asking the Supreme Court.
This is our last story, by the way, for the remainder of the day, by the way. We're going to finish up this, and then, of course, stick around because we're going to be rating someone. So stick around.
To allow enforcement of a ban on transgender people in the military while legal challenges proceed. That request happening today. The High Court
I'm all for it.
Follows a brief order from a federal appeals court that kept in place a court order blocking the policy nationwide. The High Court does follow that federal appeals court. President Trump signing an executive order a week into his term that claims the sexual identity of transgender service members, quote, conflicts with a soldier's commitment to an honorable, truthful, and disciplined lifestyle, even in one's personal life, end quote, and is harmful to military readiness. That is
yeah. I did hear him say the pallets. Yep, I did hear that they said pallets. You're right. I didn't. That's where it makes
according
sense.
to the executive order. In response, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issued a policy that presumptively disqualifies transgender people from military service. But back in March, a U.S. District Court judge out of Tacoma, Washington, ruled for several long-serving transgender military members who say the ban is insulting and discriminatory and that they're firing with
Shut up.
Emotional damage.
You know what I mean? They're just whining to whine. But hey, brother Frank, by the way, thank you for the kind message about the trip, man. It's going to be awesome.
cause lasting damage to their careers.
Yo, brother Kel up there in Canada, my man. Good morning.
Their reputation. Trump's administration offered no explanation as to why transgender troops should be banned. That is according to the judge. The judge is an appointee of Republican President George Bush and a former captain in the U.S. Army, Judge Advocate General Corr. Back in 2016, during former President Obama's presidency, a Defense Department policy allowed transgender people to serve openly in the military, while during President Trump's first term in the White House, he issued a directive to ban transgender service members, with an exception for some of those who had already started transitioning under more lenient rules that were in effect.
Oh my goodness, that's still way too liberal.
During the Obama administration, the Supreme
Court. Oh my
Court
God. Come on.
did allow that ban to take effect. Meanwhile, President Biden, when he was in office, he scrapped it. So we did want to share that breaking news, as today the Trump administration has asked the Supreme Court to allow the enforcement of a ban on transgender people in the military while legal challenges proceed. Any developments in this breaking news story, we, of course, will bring that to you right here on Live Now from Fox. Meanwhile, we do want to
You got brother Beezer as well, man, saying, what up, fam, on the road, getting fuel. Absolutely. I think that this might be the end here.
To New York City, where a rally.
Yeah, no, we're done. We're done with that. We're not going to go. I don't care about New York City. I don't care what's happening over there. So we're finishing the final day of the live streams up until I get back. It's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be a great time in California. Get to see my daughter, and that's the biggest thing for me, man, is I'm super, super excited to be able to just hang out with her. And that's why I'm not seeing anybody. Not going to see anyone. I'm just going to see her and spend as much time as humanly possible. So always appreciate you guys and the amount of love and support and engagement. Stick around in the Discord, of course. I'll give you guys updates and all of that, and I'll be constantly hanging out with you guys, of course, and I'll be putting pictures in there and video and stuff like that. Beezer comes in with the 5 gifted freaking memberships, by the way. Hey, listen, if you guys got one of these, make sure that you thank brother Beezer for the gifted memberships, man. Thank you, kind sir. Absolutely appreciate the kind patronage. And that was actually the very first thing gifted on the stream today, aside from the Cash App. So you guys have been awesome with the Cash App as well, man. But listen, little side note real quick, might as well go ahead and do this. Fuck it. Why not? Because I tell you guys to go over to my Instagram all the freaking time. Go over to my Instagram at BallValveTV and go and follow me over here, man. We'll go ahead and hang out. Yeah, I show you guys exactly what I go and do. You know what I mean? Like when I go out, I do all sorts of shit.
So if you trying to find me, you lying cause I'm outside. I ain't never seen you in the field, but it's on site. Money on my neck and it's money on my waistband. Busting at your homies, turn your hood to a wasteland. Grateful for my enemies, I heard that it's a blessing. I could never love a bitch, the last one had me stressed. But I'm back up on my... You don't wanna bang it out cause I'm about that action. I ain't into too much, but I love guns. 1911s, 38s, and them shotgun. Yo, they homie in the switch shit side pack. He on a shirt for sporting the wrong ball cap. 2 3s and green beans, nigga, all that. Feel around.
Yes, sir. Make sure you guys go follow me over there, man. So always appreciate you guys. Much love, honor, respect. Appreciate you, Tony, for coming in at the last second. But hey, man, we'll see you guys here in a little bit. Much love, honor, respect to everybody. And until I come back from Cali. Much love, honor, respect, and God bless to everybody. We'll see you guys. Be safe out there.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken, he rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his stand, refusing to submit.